Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, staff, fellow council members. Thank you for joining us tonight for the regular meeting of council for Tuesday, July 28th, starting at 5 p.m. precisely. It's to be held and transmitted electronically via the council chambers, which are located here at 39 South Shore Road. Before beginning tonight's meeting, we as council would like to recognize the outstanding service of the members of the Lake Cowichan Fire Department who have deployed to assist with wildfire response efforts across British Columbia. And we thank them for volunteering and doing that for the communities throughout British Columbia. I'm sure that we would be repaid should we have that happen within our community. So congratulations to those members who went and to the fire department. We thank you. And with that, just acknowledging that we are gathered tonight on the ancestral territory of the Subasset First Nation with thanks for contributing to our economy collaboratively as we work, play, and partner together. Looking for introduction of late items, I believe we have one under new business. Councillor Sandhu.
Cowichan Lake Recreation waiving fees policy.
Thank you. Anything from staff? Seeing none, looking for approval of the agenda as amended. Moved by Councillor Frisbee, seconded by Councillor Austin. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That motion carries. Public input. Here's your opportunity. If you have anything on tonight's agenda that you wish to speak on, come to the podium, please state your name and which item you wish to speak to. This is not the time for questions. This is just the time for public input. If you are the delegation, this is not your time either. So we clarified that, no public input? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes. But if you do have public input, you're more than you can get up and speak to it. Sure, sure. It's been a long month.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. My name is Angie Cousins, and I'm District Manager for the Wayne Proctor Group. I oversee the operations of the Riverside Inn, including the hotel, pub, liquor store, and cafe. I'm here today representing the property owner as he's out of town for business. And I'm here to support the application and begin liquor services at 9 a.m. I want to thank you very much. We appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today, and thank you for considering the application. Will there be any questions, or should I just keep going?
You just keep going.
Okay, thank you. Our request is straightforward. We're asking to change our liquor service start time from 11 a.m. to 9 a.m. There are no other changes being requested. We will not increase our occupancy, change our license class, expand our patio, or extend our late night operation hours. The application simply provides the flexibility to serve guests earlier in the morning. Riverside Inn serves a wide range of guests, including hotel visitors, tourism, golfers, fishers, businessmen, travelers, and local residents. Many of our guests have chosen to enjoy breakfast or brunch at the Riverside and regularly ask why we are only allowed to serve at 11 o'clock, wanting a Caesar or mimosa to go with their breakfast. We would like to start the service at 8 a.m., which will allow us to better meet their expectations while continuing to provide responsible hospitality service. Many hospitality businesses throughout British Columbia already offer this level of service, particularly when hotel accommodations are involved. Since 2020, I've worked very hard alongside my team to increase the Riverside in possible impact to the town of Lake Cowichan, positivity. Over the past several years, we have invested in improving the property, expanding our services, and creating an employment opportunity for local residents. Those jobs help people continue living and working in the community, which supports local families. The Riverside also attracts visitors who stay at the hotel, dine in our restaurants, and support locally purchase fuel, visit local attractions, support businesses throughout Lake Cowichan. Strong tourism benefits the entire community, not just our business. We also take pride in supporting local organizations, sponsoring community events, and providing a welcoming place where both resident and visitors can gather. We recognize that council responsibly is to consider the impact requests may have on the surrounding community. We do not believe beginning liquor services at 9 a.m. will create additional noise, disorder, policy concerns, or impact on nearby residents. Our guests are already visiting the property during those hours for breakfast and local and hotel services. The request simply allows alcohol service to be an option within meal. Responsible liquor service remains one of our highest priorities. Throughout my time managing Riverside Inn since 2020, I've worked hard on the strength of the business and in the reputation within the community. My goal has always been to create a place where people feel welcome, a place to be safe. Everybody and everyone that resides here and the visitors are proud to support. Responsible liquor service has been a key part of that commitment. Every staff member serving alcohol has a servant right certificate. Our management team actively supervises operations, and we follow all liquor protocol and regulations. We have a clear policy regarding intoxication, refusal of service when operations are respectful of the guest behavior, encouraging safe transportations. These standards will not change. In closing, we believe this modest and reasonable request that supports tourism, improves the experience for our guests, and can be implemented responsibly without creating a negative impact on the community. Thank you for your time and your consideration of our application. I would like to please to answer any questions that the council would like.
Thank you for that.
Sorry, I'm nervous, not used to talking.
No, don't be nervous. No, you did fine. If we can hold any questions till it comes forward in the planning,
Okay.
and we will look for questions to staff for clarification, and you as well if there is need any clarification on that. So thank you for your input.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone further for public input? Seeing none, we have adoption of minutes. We have June 3rd, 2026 minutes, a regular council meeting. Someone move that? Councillor Frisbee, Councillor Austin seconds. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed, if any? Carries. June 23rd, the same day, was the annual general meeting. Moved by Councillor Sandu, seconded by Councillor Frisbee. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. July 14th, Committee of the Whole meeting. Moved by Councillor Bomaka, seconded by Councillor Sandu. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That motion carries as well. July 21st, 2026, special meeting of council minutes. Moved by Councillor Bomaka, seconded by Councillor Austin. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That motion carries. Actionable items from July 14th. I can turn to you, Councillor Frisbee. For those.
Yeah, just actionable items from July 14th, Committee of the Whole, correspondence, that the following correspondence items be received and filed: a joint letter to the Ministry of Health repurposing the existing Cowichan District Hospital, AVICC at UBCM, elections and student program, AVICC opportunities for AVICC members in the District of Oak Bay Local Government Climate Action Plan, building permit summary, that council accept the building permit summary report for the month of June 2026, financial report to June 30th, 2026, that council receives the financial report for the 6 months ending June 30th, 2026 as information. Fire Department incident report, that the staff report be received, and that council approves the Lake Cowichan Fire Department incident report in the amount of $14,345 for June 2026, and a direction to staff, that staff be directed to report back on short-term rental options with rental vacancy rates, if available, licensing options, and other aspects of zoning allowance. And with that, I'd like to move those actionable items.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Frisbee, seconded by Councillor Sandu. Any discussion on those actionable items? Call the question. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That motion carries. Next is the delegation. That's Mr. Drummond of the Lake Cowichan Broom Busters, giving us 2026 activities. Welcome, sir.
Welcome and thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and the council and staff. I'm glad to present a very short report on the Lake Cowichan Broom Busters activity this year. It's the 20th year of the society on the island, and we did our darndest to get many volunteers out, and that was much of a failure. Cutting did happen on the complete section of Fern Road at the junction, on the fringes of the junction, on Point Ideal Road late in the broom busting season, and on the highway right near the arena as well. The Pine Street at the swale there, and bits and pieces around the trail, and Wellington Road and stuff like that. We hope that to be in contact with service clubs for next year, and we also are going to be approaching the baseball associations and try to persuade them to buy into assisting with cleanup in the area of Apollo Park and that sort of thing like that. And if many hands pitched in there, that could become yellow free. And so we're looking forward to that next year. And it's a difficult job to recruit the volunteers, more so with the news about ticks and all that and whatnot like that. But it is very rewarding to beautify the community in a way. And you're also cutting down on the fire hazard. And you get to hate the look of broom after a while, and everything looks pretty neat and tidy when cutting does happen. The season started quite early this year. April the 18th, the regional district organized cutting at Bald Mountain. They provided a dumpster bin that was left there for a number of days, and residents tossed broom into that. And then they also had a cutting party on the one day, and there was about 17 people showed up for there. There's quite a number of people interested to cut broom in the U-Bowl area, and there is in the Woodland Shores area too. They really take pride in their neighborhood and are worried about the fire concern as well. So many of them do that. In those two areas, they have the support of the Mosaic to actually pick up the cut broom, which is a big part of your efforts. And here in town here, we would like to thank very much Jazz Sandu and Public Works for providing pickup to us at the couple sites where we did drop off cut broom. And so look forward to better promotion next year, a little bit more volunteer recruitment, and a little bit more visibility, and we'll be underway. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll just turn to council and see if there's any comments or questions. Councillor Sandu.
I was just going to say that maybe next year, like the town along with you, they could do some promotional advertising, whether that's in the paper, but on social media definitely as early as possible, just to get the wheels turning and see if we can get some volunteers.
That would be fantastic. We did place a couple ads to advertise an information session, but that's not going to work, something like that. So, but yeah, any kind of promotion like that, yeah, we'll work with you. Yeah, that'd be great.
I have Councillor Bomaka first.
Thank you. Thanks, Doug, for all that you do. Would it be possible maybe if you touch base with the fire department, because under the Fire Smart program, they might be able to work with you with the advertising, education, and other things to assist you?
Yes, we do. We are in contact with them and come across paths a couple times during the season. There is some kind of stipulation about the coordinator was not able to actually officially cut or something like that. And but they are encouraging, and I believe some of the members actually do have cut on their own. In fact, I met one out at Woodland Shores there, and that sort of thing like that. But an official get together with activities, nothing happened this year. Maybe in the year to come or so. Yeah.
I was thinking more the advertising of utilizing them to help you with that, because they do Fire Smart programming throughout the community, and they might be able to add that on a little bit.
For sure.
And also along with your service groups and baseball, the hockey teams too. There's some young, strong boys that with the Kraken that may be able to assist if you approach.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a good workout. Yeah.
And turn to Councillor Austin next.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you for taking over. I know I did this for 7 years with a bunch of people. I've lost quite a few friends over the years doing that. It is really hard work, and we did connect with the fire department. Elijah tried to get some stuff going, and it didn't quite work. But every year you just have to do a little bit more, and it's a tough job. It's not fun, but it's rewarding when you can clean out. We cleaned out the part where the new bus stop is, and we cleaned out some other areas over the years, the pickleball courts and that. So, but it's tough work, and it's hard to get volunteers. But thank you for taking over.
Thank you, Carolyn. You made it sound like your friends were lost cutting broom. Thanks.
We can send a search party if needed. But thank you very much for everything your group does. We appreciate that. Moving on, we have some correspondence. There is probably a couple here that we need to deal with. The first one is from Janice and Craig New, and it has concerns with traffic volume, etc., on River Road. This was received on July 10th. It was to everybody. I asked that it be put on tonight's agenda. And with that, I'm looking for any input from council. Councillor Austin.
Is there a possibility of closing off the top, excuse me, of Indian Road just for that weekend? And, or from, I think it starts Thursday, and detouring people to come right around and come into town and letting all the people that live there know what's happening? I know one side of it is CVRD and the other side is the town, so.
I'm not positive as to what the traffic plan through Sunfest is. I know it has been closed in the past for access and egress during the Sunfest concert, but I'm not positive as to this year's plans. But there are other questions and concerns that are brought forward there, whether it's sidewalks, et cetera. And you did mention the cross-jurisdictional concerns in there. One side is CBRD and one side is town. But if we could possibly send this to staff with direction to look at possibilities, addressing the concerns within the letter and bring it back for budget discussions and deliberation for next year's budget, I would appreciate that. So I will move that. Do I have a seconder? That we direct staff to come back with possibilities of remediating some of the concerns within the correspondence from Mr. and Mrs. New, and bring back possible remediation to a budget meeting in 2026, 2027. And seconded by Councillor Sandu. All in favor? Or any discussion first? I'll let you have some input if you need it. Pretty straightforward. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That motion carries. Thank you. Could we also respond to Mr. and Mrs. New that this was dealt with at tonight's council meeting, and that staff will be working on some possible avenues forward with their concerns. This is not the first concern that we've gotten from residents along River Road / Indian Road for pedestrian safety. And see what we can do. Also, the Tourism Cowichan, the request for letter of support for the municipal and regional tax renewal and rate increase. I believe we had a presentation previously on this proposal to increase the online tax within that to 3%. And I believe it's across the board for all hotel taxes to go 3%. The online accommodation platform is directed to Cowichan Housing Association. The other portion is for tourism-related activities within the Cowichan Valley. So they're looking for a letter of support addressing those increases and looking for someone to make that motion. Moved by Councillor Frisbee, seconded by Councillor Bomaka. Discussion on that matter. Call the question. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That motion carries. Any of the others you wish to discuss or receive and file? Moved by Councillor Austin, seconded by Councillor Sandu to receive and file the remaining correspondence. I believe we have dealt with Committee of the Whole, Councillor Frisbee, so we don't need to do that twice, I believe. Thank you. Councillor Sandu, do you have Cowichan Lake Recreation Commission?
Thank you. Yesterday, we held our meeting at Missachi Lake Hall. Under the manager's report, a new fitness instructor started yesterday. We talked about period poverty, which was a pilot project that all arenas and hall bathrooms had, what's the word? Thank you, feminine hygiene products at no cost to the taxpayers. To the people that needed them. And this pilot project was very successful. They had a few issues with vandalism, some equipment pulled down off the walls, whatnot. But overall, the budget for the year was about $9,000. They had budgeted for about $40,000. So they're very pleased so far with this project. And so the commission supported continuing this pilot project in Cowichan Lake. And our next meeting is September 28th.
Thank you for that. Any questions? Councillor Bomaka, do you have anything from the Vancouver Island Regional Library Board?
No meetings at this time, but I'd just like to say that they have lots of programming going on. They have their annual stuffy night where youngsters in the community will bring their stuffies for an overnight little get-together with the librarian, and then they find out the next day, you know, how much fun their little stuffies had, and it's been increasing. So things like that are really good for the community and the youngsters. And also we noticed, Councillor Austin brought it up again, that with the school not having their snack program throughout the summer, there are children in the community that are going without. And so we're rotating through Councillor Austin, Councillor Sandu, and myself throughout the summer to provide the library with some juice boxes, fruit, little snacks, so that the kids that do go in there know that there's little something behind the counter. So thank you, Councillor Austin, for bringing it forward again. Thank you.
Thank you for that, ladies. Appreciate it. Great representation of council by the female aspect. Looks like Councillor Frisbee and myself are falling behind, but so be it. Yes, you will. I have nothing to report on the Community Forest Co-op. APC, Councillor Sandu, anything there?
No, our next meeting is September 24th, I think. The last Thursday in February, or September.
September. Perfect. Thank you very much. Cowichan Valley Regional District, the last board meeting of July was held last Wednesday, a 9-hour marathon that involved a number of topics, transit, renewal plan, also dealing with grants and aids, and all aspects of regional district news. The most topics involved were electoral area topics within planning and development permits that had come forward. That was the major discussion on a large proposal in Maple Bay that has been on the books for quite a number of years. That is currently paused in its current form and sent back to the applicant to relook at possibilities of moving that in a different direction. Also, the CBRD pauses activities in August, just as we do, to give council and CBRD directors a chance to recharge prior to returning in September. So with that, and tonight, look forward to August to do some recharging for sure. Councillor Austin, anything on the community outreach team?
No meeting until September.
I'll stay with you with our Cowichan.
The next meeting is also September.
Everybody takes August off. Councillor Sandu, Cowichan Watershed Board.
Thank you. Yesterday, we held our meeting by Zoom. One agenda item was that Minister Neal attended or had a visit with at the Cowichan, oh my gosh, sorry. Minister Neal was given a tour of the estuary project in Cowichan Bay last Friday, and she was very much impressed with what the plans are moving forward with the project. The Lower River cleanup is August 23rd from 9:30 to 2:30, and that will be at Cowichan Tribes. It'll start there at the Black Creek, at the Black Bridge. I'm really off. Tom Rutherford did a CBC radio interview on the drought conditions on Cowichan and the Kokosila. Right now, the current river flow is at 5 CMS. He talked about the technical watershed update that they had yesterday, and Tom gave a huge shout out to the town of Lake Cowichan for all they're doing at our end under the dire conditions we're facing right now. But Tom said that he's showing a little optimism that this year has been the best year with the river in the last 4 years. So this bit of rain we're getting here and there, it is helping. The cooler weather is helping. They have people snorkeling the river 2 to 3 times a week, they haven't seen any dead fish. So they're very happy about that so far, but until we get till the end of September, everybody holds their breath. There's going to be a board membership governance manual change upcoming possibly, and the Cowichan Watershed Board will be talking about it at our September meeting. Currently, we have 2 federal seats at the table, 2 provincial seats. We have 6 members at large. the proposed recommendations is that there'll be one federal seat, one provincial seat. There'll be 8 members at large. It'll be a 4-year term, and there'll be a youth seat within the 8 seats available. They're trying to introduce our youth, the future, to the Watershed Board and all that we do. And then there will be one director at large, and this will not be a elected position. So currently, I'm appointed to the Cowichan Watershed Board from 2 previous chairs, and that may change. So we will know more come the fall. And our next meeting is September.
Thank you for that. Any questions to Councillor Sandu on that? You don't want to answer any? No? Okay. Never mind. Councillor Frisbee or Councillor Austin on the Otaki twinning. Who wants to go first?
Not so much to report. We've got the itinerary set for the visiting group coming up with Sue Bartlett now hosting us. So that's awesome. They're on board. And yeah, that's all I've got to report.
Anything from you, Councillor Austin?
Yes, our 2027 group is doing really, really well. The golf tournament brought in $3,673. Bottle drive, I'm going to start saving my own bottles, $3,115. Hot dog, $6.28. That's pretty good. And I think that's over a period. They're doing a firewood raffle. Tickets are $2 each. I think that starts August 1st. There's a cornhole tournament. I got to go to this one. It's September 26th. That should be interesting. And the Kinsmen are hosting that one. I'm sure it's at the curling rink again. And they're just working on their flights and tours and all the things they want to do when they get to Japan and getting them sort of organized ahead of time. They're doing a really great job. I'm very proud of all of them.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to our sister city visiting us in October. Thank you very much for all the work you and Councillor Frisbee are doing on this. Questions? Moving on. Staff reports from our Development Services Director, LCRB 2026-01. Ms. Von Schilling.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. On February 24th, Council agreed to accept the preliminary request to change opening hours from 11 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the Riverside Inn and Pub located at 56 North Shore Road, so that a formal application to the LCRB could be made by the applicant. Council also directed staff to engage the RCMP and to request the posting of public notice during the consultation process for this referral application once it was received. An application was received formally through the LCRB portal, and following that, referrals were sent to the RCMP, and public notices were both mailed and posted at the site. No comments were received from the RCMP that would oppose the proposal, and no comments were received from the public or residents. Council has the option to recommend or not recommend, and the preferred or recommended option is that Council will recommend the LCRB approve the proposed change in hours from 11 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the Riverside Inn and Pub at 56 North Shore Road.
Thank you for that. Can we have the motion on the floor that you wish to put forward so we can have some discussion? Moved by Councillor Austin, seconded by Councillor Frisbee. Discussion, anyone? Okay.
Am I allowed to? Sorry.
Absolutely.
Yes, please. Thank you, Angie.
You know, I wouldn't say no to you.
Can I just ask when it said meals, so can you just expand a little bit to let us know, do they have to have a full meal or?
So there's no regulation on that. They do have to eat, but typically people come there for breakfast, so they should have food with their meals. For a liquor license, they don't have to have food to drink. It's recommended that they do, and we always have to offer food for it.
Interesting. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Councillor Frisbee.
Since the sign went up outside, has there been any feedback to staff from residents?
No, none. Everybody's excited about it. Yeah.
Anyone else? I do have a question through to staff, if possible. I believe there was another application came from another establishment earlier, similar to this one. Am I correct?
The other application, if I'm thinking of the same one, it pertains to cannabis store, not a liquor.
I think prior to your time and prior to our new development / bylaw director, the Cow Restaurant came forward with a similar proposal in the LCRB to amend theirs to allow earlier service within their patio section. So this is in line with a proposal that came forward to council previously, just so that we're aware of the history on that. And I hope everyone else recalls it was approved. And it's contiguous to the riverside. Any further direction? So I will call the question and I will read it out. The council recommends the LCRB approval to the proposed change in hours from 11 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the Riverside Inn and Pub at 56 North Shore Road, which is legally described as Parcel B, DD 3019I, Section 6, Renfrew District, and that council directs staff to complete the online portal reporting of council's resolution to the LCRB. All in favor? Opposed? That's carried unanimously. Thank you for attending tonight. And moving on to the next staff report, it's the Climate Action Resilience Framework. Staying with you, Ms. Von Schilling and Ms. Reynolds. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. What we're seeking is council support for the draft climate resilience framework, which is attached as Schedule 1. So as council's aware, the town entered into a contribution agreement with Canada Mortgage and Housing as part of their Housing Acceleration Fund, HAF, as it's commonly known, in January of 2024. And the town agreed to undertake 6 initiatives or deliverables. Thus far, we have completed on 4. This framework would be number 5. And what was agreed upon, or as part of the deliverable, is to prepare this climate resilience plan, and specifically related to improving the town's climate adaptability relative to wildfire, flood, and stormwater. This framework is quite narrow in scope, trying to keep it manageable, and also trying to work with existing information and data so that we're not going out and doing any further modeling or data collection. We're really relying on sort of information that we already have or has recently been completed to update some of our policies, regulations, and so on. Anticipating, keeping this framework narrow is anticipating that the work can be completed over the next 12 months. So regarding wildfire, as you know, we've got the Community Wildfire Resiliency Plan, and our Fire Smart coordinator continues to do that work, operationalize it together with her colleagues at the fire department, working with community and other town staff. But there are elements relating to wildfire that need to be addressed, particularly in regards to subdivision design, and considering some changes to our bylaws in that regard, and also landscaping requirements. And then the floodplain policies and regulations that we have are based on 1984 mapping and data. And as noted in the report, there's been various assessments that have been done that provide us with more up-to-date information that we can then use to review the bylaws and policies. And then our integrated rainwater management plan adopted in 2014 also is based on older data. And as we know from the recent regional board, there's recent projections that that have been established around rainwater and the anticipated increases that we can expect to see over the next 20, 30 years that we need to be building into how we're managing our stormwater. We also, with doing some of this work, we'd be looking at, possible amendments to the development permit areas and guidelines, and also mapping in our OCP relative to flood and wildfire. And some of the work, for example, the updating or building on the rainwater management plan and the assessment work, that's already identified as a development cost charge project. And but what is not anticipated there under the current 2014 integrated rainwater management plan is that the sizing doesn't, the estimated sizing doesn't reflect the changes in the projections, the increased projections. So we would anticipate that an assessment be completed in terms of the stormwater, the existing stormwater management plan that we have to potentially accommodate the increased rainwater projections. And then, so based on that, we're requesting approval of the proposed framework, and should you have any questions, please ask.
Can we get that on the floor first before we have a discussion? Councillor Bomaka moves option 1, approve the proposed framework, seconded by Councillor Sandu. Questions? Councillor Frisbee.
Yeah, just with the cost of this, so just to clarify, it's not going to be funded through taxation. There's already, sorry, I'm just trying to find it. It's already going to be funded through the CMHC have funds and then the stormwater DCCs. Is that correct?
Yes.
That concludes. Any further questions? Through to staff, are we looking at the updated climate projections that were presented within the regional district as the guideline?
That would certainly be included as one of the reference documents that would be used, yes.
So the presentation of that at the regional district was met with some discussion. But looking at the previous report from 2017, those projections going forward were not that much different within that professional report that was gathered. There was some slight deficiencies within some of the projections, but basically from 2017 to the 2026 projections, they were quite similar. Having looked at stormwater management within our DCCs, for instance, from 2014, and we looked at the atmospheric river recently, there is a need to look at that stormwater management for sure, in my opinion, especially in any improvements that we're doing in stormwater infrastructure that comes forward in budget discussions. So just a comment on that, if anyone else has anything. I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That motion carries. No bylaws tonight, but we do have new business. Councillor Sandu brought this forward, and there is a package here that was provided prior to the meeting, just to go along with Councillor Sandu's presentation.
Thank you. So yesterday at the Couch and Lake Rec Commission meeting, one of the agenda items was waiving fees for community groups. And what the 3 rec managers are looking to is to align all arenas and halls a CVRD-wide policy on waiving fees. So each arena and hall basically has different policies, so they're wanting to align them. I was quite clear that our community of our nonprofit organizations have different needs than those in Duncan within the Cowichan Core, the Cowichan Community Center, and Kerry Park. I stated that the federal and provincial grants have decreased this year to many local organizations, and they're now looking at local government for the shortfall of funds. Fundraising has increased yearly for all local organizations. To try and keep fees as low as possible, they're looking to fundraise. So everybody is looking at the same people to keep buying tickets and different things, and that is where the need is. So under this package, the arena manager, Denise, put together a estimated rental fees waived for the 2025 and 2026 year. And so right now it sits at $29,910.04. And this is part of Yubo Community Association, Honeymoon Bay Community Association, and different local groups in Lake Cowichan. So for the Yubo Hall, Yubo Community Association, they had fees waived of $722.50. Honeymoon Bay Community Society had fees waived of $8,270.25. Cowichan Lake Community Services for the Centennial Hall had fees waived $640.90. The Cowichan Lake Ambassador Program for the Centennial Hall, fees were waived of $3,869.05. Connects, $857.65. So also the 100 Laker women, the first Lake Cowichan Scouts, CATSA Lakeside Players Society, Lake Cowichan District Minor Hockey Association, Lake Cowichan Minor Baseball Association. So as they are saying, to keep the fees as low as possible, they look to see if they can have fees waived for their AGMs, their monthly meetings. They get, the Lake Cowichan Minor Hockey Association gets 1 day a year free ice, and that's when they host their bonds, or their, what do you call that? I want to say bonspiel, it's not, that's Crown. Jamboree. And the Lake Cowichan Skating Club used to have the same thing for their ice show. So why I'm bringing it forward tonight is I think that this council needs to discuss this, look at these numbers, and do we want to align with the other two rec communities, or do we want to have our own policy that fits our needs in this community? So that's up for discussion.
And I think considering we recess for August, this would be the appropriate time, should you require a letter to that effect, that it be brought forward after discussion on the matter. So you've got the document in front of you, a little bit of history on this topic. There has been policies in the past on reductions of rental fees for not-for-profit organizations within the West Cowichan area. Before the regional recreation function became a line item in Cowichan Valley Regional District, we had a sub-regional function within the West Cowichan area of the community halls within the three communities of Lake Cowichan, Honeymoon Bay, and Yubo, where the policy was quite different than those on the south end and the central core. I think it's imperative that we continue to offer these not-for-profits a reduced or free rate to utilize the facilities that were built by volunteers and donations within our communities years ago. To align with a regional recreation function policy does not work in all areas, in my view, and should be looked at for the autonomy of those communities where they reside. Many of the community halls were built by forest companies within the communities that they resided in and worked in, and then were handed over in good faith to those entities that now manage them. So my view is to put forward a policy that we continue to provide reduced or free rental fees to these organizations. But I will wait to see if anyone else has something. No? You want to put something forward, Councillor Sandu?
Well, this will be coming to the September meeting at the commission, and I'm just wondering if we put this on the agenda for September of our committee of the whole, where we've got some time to actually really get just more information, and then we can make a more objective decision at this table.
Sounds good. So direction to put this forward to the September committee of the whole. That'll give staff an opportunity to at least do some investigative reporting. Absolutely.
I'm just wondering then if either the mayor or the CAO could just draft a letter to the arena manager, Denise Williams, just as to what we're going to do. She wanted this to come before the commission and voted on at the end of September. So if we can let her know that we will be bringing this forward at our September committee of the whole for further investigations by our staff.
I'm sure between the deputy corporate officer, the CAO, and myself, we can at least pen a letter stating that we will be discussing this at the September committee of the whole and bring forward our proposal to the September Couch and Lake Recreation meeting. Direction to staff. With that, the mayor's report. I usually only do them quarterly, but seeing as how we're taking August off, I thought I'd better do one. So good evening, council, staff, and residents. As we head into August, Lake Cowichan continues to move forward with confidence. Council remains focused on responsible governance and delivering the services our residents rely on. I'd like to state again publicly that if you do not have a family doctor or nurse practitioner or health provider, please register through 811. Every registration helps demonstrate the need for primary care in our community. Accurate numbers strengthen the case for additional healthcare resources, providers, and future funding for communities like Lake Cowichan and the Western communities. I'd like to thank our municipal staff, and also I forgot to introduce Ms. Muehlbauer. Thank you. I did introduce Ms. Von Schilling, so I thought it was only appropriate to do that as well. Also to the responders, volunteers, and local businesses for their ongoing contribution to our community. This is our final regular council meeting before the August recess, and while our meetings pause, town operations will continue as normal, and council remains available should urgent matters arise. I would also like to note that council elections will be held on October 17th, 2026. It's an opportunity for residents to participate in shaping the future leadership of our community. So on behalf of council and myself, I wish everyone a safe and enjoyable summer. I look forward to seeing you back here in September. Thank you very much. And with that, I'll turn. No notices of motion. We do have question period on anything on the agenda tonight. If you do have a question, come to the podium, state your name and what question you would like to ask, and I will do my best to answer it. I see none. So we are also having an in-camera session, so I will read the reason for going in camera. Section 92 of the Community Charter requires that before a meeting or part of a meeting is closed to the public, that council must state by resolution that the meeting is to be closed, and the basis of which the meeting is to be closed falls under the following sections of the Community Charter. Section 91C, which is labor relations or other employee relations. Section 91D, the security of property of the municipality. Section 91E, the acquisition, disposition, or expropriation of land or improvements if the council considers that disclosure could reasonably be expected to harm the interest of the municipality. And there's another one, section 91K, negotiations and related discussions respecting the proposed provision of a municipal service that are at their preliminary stages and in the view of council could reasonably be expected to harm the interest of the municipality if they were held in public. I need a motion to go in camera under those items, moved by Councillor Frisbee, seconded by Councillor Bomaka. All in favor?